This is lesson 2 in the water cycle module. For this lesson, you're going to need this paper. Looks like this right here. So go ahead and pause the video and get this paper from the supply shelf. Once you get your paper, go ahead and put your name at the top. Okay, put your name at the top because you will be turning this in. Okay, so here we have evaporation and condensation on the top. And then along the side we have states, density and gravity, heat, and example. So this first column is going to be about evaporation, and then this second column is going to be about condensation. So let's talk about the states of matter in evaporation and condensation. So whatever I write in the boxes, you're going to write as well. So evaporation is when it goes from a liquid to a gas. Okay. This is like if you have water and evaporates into the air above it, like that. Now condensation is the exact opposite. So condensation is gas to liquid. This is what's happening before it rains. So the water particles are in the air and they get closer and closer together, like this. Okay, so density and gravity in evaporation, density decreases or becomes less dense. This is because the particles are getting farther away from each other. So that means that gravity does not push down as hard. Just going to mean that those particles want to go up. For condensation, though, it's the opposite. Density increases. So that means that gravity pushes down harder. So when gravity pushes down harder, the particles want to go down. All right, heat. So evaporation, it requires heat to be added. Or in other words, the liquid heats up. So we want to heat up the liquid to make it evaporate. For condensation, though, it's the opposite. Condensation requires heat to be taken away. So that means the gas cools down. So they're just the opposite of each other. Evaporation needs to heat up. Condensation needs to be cooled down. Now, for the example boxes, I want you to come up with one example for each evaporation and condensation in nature, which means somewhere in the water cycle. When does evaporation happen? and when does condensation happen? And you can use all this information to help you think of some examples. I'm going to give you one example for evaporation, but you're going to have to come up with your own for evaporation as well. So my example is when the level of a pond goes down. This is because the water is evaporating. Okay, so I want you to think up an example for evaporation and one for condensation, and then you can go ahead and turn this paper in when you are done with that.